Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KD8VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2507 with a release date of Friday, November 14th, 2025, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. The Philippine government seeks ham's help during a super typhoon. Sri Lanka tests its radio readiness for a tsunami response, and a college makes a special gift to a Wisconsin ham club. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2507 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, W8VPV.
We begin this week with a report of disaster preparedness that rallied quickly as a super typhoon in the South China Sea was bearing down on the Philippines on the 8th of November. Emergency amateur frequencies in the region were cleared for the Philippine Amateur Radio Association and others to use for traffic. The association's operators were among those engaged by the Philippine National Telecommunications Commission to help government responders, especially in those regions where communication connections had been destroyed by the powerful storm known internationally as Fengwang. The death toll kept rising, and more than 1 million people were displaced in the archipelago nation as floods and landslides took over much of the landscape in the northern provinces. Sustained winds were reported at up to 185 kilometers per hour, or 115 miles per hour, with gusts of as much as 230 kilometers per hour, or 143 miles per hour. Amateur radio has traditionally been a part of disaster response and the recovery process. Meanwhile, in Sri Lanka, amateurs have just completed a successful national readiness exercise, which simulated a tsunami, recalling the one that struck the region in December of 2004. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, has those details.
It was a magnitude 9.2 undersea earthquake happening off northern Sumatra on the 5th of November. But fortunately, it was simulated. The Disaster Management Center and the Radio Society of Sri Lanka responded as if it were happening for real, sending traffic designed to coordinate evacuations and respond to health emergencies and other critical situations. A statement from the Radio Society's Management Council, posted on their Facebook page, said that the hams field operations on VHF from Colombo, Galle and Kulutera provided uninterrupted data relay across the island. The scenario called for disaster response from a variety of agencies where such coordination was crucial. The field operators had strong support from home-based listening stations. Frequencies were also monitored by the Amateur Radio Society of India and member societies of IARU Region 3. The council statement said, quote, "This exercise not only demonstrated the vital role and effectiveness of amateur radio in emergency response, but also reaffirmed the importance of strong collaboration between the RSSL and the Disaster Management Center in building national communication resilience and public awareness." End quote. Sri Lanka was among the many nations struck by the Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami in late 2004 that killed tens of thousands. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
An active and prominent ham from Bangalore, India has become a silent key. We hear more about him from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
He was known on the air as Subu, and his call sign was VU2ZUB. He could be heard on any number of nets, especially when serving as the net control operator. A member of the Bangalore Amateur Radio Club, he was active on HF, VHF, UHF, Echolink, and satellite. Subu was reported as having become a silent key on the 10th of November, but there are no other details. His commitment to public service through radio extended into his off-the-air activities. A long-time member of Rotary Bangalore East, He was recognized by Rotary International as a Paul Harris Fellow for his long record of work benefiting the community. Subu had also belonged to Rotarians on Amateur Radio, or ROAR. Post by the Institute of Amateur Radio in Kerala recalled him as, quote, a dedicated radio amateur, ever helpful and kind-hearted. He will be remembered for his passion for communication and his warm camaraderie both on and off the air, unquote. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Although many may remember this annual competition as the Intrepid DX Group's Youth Dream Rig Essay Contest, there have been some changes, some very big changes, as the 6th annual challenge begins. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, tells us what has happened.
For the past 5 years, licensed hams 25 and younger were challenged to write an essay on a topic relevant to ham radio's place in the world. It's part of the Intrepid DX Group's mission to encourage the growth of amateur radio in all nations around the world, especially in areas that are still developing. This year's challenge focuses not just on words, but action. The contest is being called Amateur Radio for the Greater Good. In a departure from previous contests, this one asks the young hams to submit proposals to establish a public access radio station somewhere in the U.S. The station can be intended for any public building: a school, a house of worship, a fire station, a hospital, or a community center. The winner will receive a complete HF, VHF, UHF station, including coax and antennas, to make their proposal a reality, where it can be used for club use, mentoring, training, and emergency communication. The winner will also receive their own HF radio for personal use. The deadline for submission of proposals is the 10th of December, with the awardee's name announced on the 15th. They will be required to provide written permission from the facility that they have chosen, authorizing the installation of the station and antenna. The awardee may become the station's trustee. See the text version of this week's newscast script at arnewsline.org for the email or U.S. mail address where inquiries or submissions may be sent. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
A pair of AMSAT courses to teach students about satellites have gained support from Amateur Radio Digital Communications, as we hear from Jack Parker, W8ISH.
In 2022, AMSAT rolled out its community-based Youth Initiative program, which provides age-appropriate lessons about satellites for youngsters in 2 age groups, grades 5 to 7 and grades 8 till 12. In that first year, a grant from the Quarter Century Wireless Association helped get things going. 3 years later, as the initiative gathers even more momentum, Amateur Radio Digital Communication has announced that it is providing the initiative with 2 grants designed to enhance both the student group's learning experiences. One grant will allow production of a coloring book for the younger students who are of elementary school age. The pages will depict satellites being used to aid in pollution control, wildfire fighting, broadcasting, and navigation. The other grant will help secure more software licenses for online courses for the older students who are of high school age. The first course is called Introduction to Satellite Meteorology, and visitors to Hamvention this past spring got a preview of its contents. Central to the initiative are its 2 websites, KidSat and BuzzSat, which contain age-appropriate activities for the younger and older students, respectively. The students also have access to a network of online software-defined radios they can use as ground stations for receiving images and telemetry from satellites making passes overhead. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio, on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. local time, right before the weekly Saranet at 8 p.m. The weekend of November 1st and 2nd ushered in an inaugural amateur radio conference in Australia organized by the Brisbane VHF Group. John Williams, VK4JJW, brings us up to date.
Known as QTech 2025, the conference in the Brisbane suburb of Chermside focused on the next generation of radio operators who will become stewards of the airwaves. Their varied voices were heard throughout the two-day program, both as presenters and guests. Two university students, Otto VK4OTZ and Finn VK4II, sparked dialogue with a talk on their theme, Young Hams, Yes, We Do Exist. Young amateurs' voices were also well heard during a town hall-style meeting to discuss ways to attract new hams and ensure amateur radio's future. According to a report by Kevin VK4UH, the Brisbane VHF Group's president, more than 70 registered delegates attended, and although a handful did participate remotely, most of them were present in person. Kevin's report, which appeared first in a Wireless Institute of Australia newscast, said that one of the high points of the conference was perhaps one of its briefest, an 11-minute contact between 15 students and astronaut Johnny Kim KJ5HFP at the moment that the ISS orbit passed over Queensland. Like amateur radio itself, the conference is expected to have a bright future. Kevin said organisers are already working on QTech 2027. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
Community generosity works in both directions, as one amateur radio club in Wisconsin found out recently. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, has the details.
Hams are accustomed to being the ones providing community service, and so it was a special privilege for the Fond du Lac Amateur Radio Club in Wisconsin to be on the receiving end recently. The Moraine Park Technical College donated 5 laptops to assist the club with its work in amateur radio education, license testing, and emergency communications, including its field day operations. The donations kept club member Lloyd Vandervoort, November 9 Radio Papa uniform, hard at work setting up the club's logging programs. Dave McCumber, November 9 Whiskey Quebec club president, issued a statement saying that the additional computing power will, quote, strengthen our ability to teach, train, and support both new and experienced radio operators throughout the region, end quote. This is Andy Morrison, Kilo 9 Alpha Whiskey Mike.
What happens when a material loses its ability to conduct electricity, seemingly for no reason? Researchers have been working to solve that mystery, and they think they've got it figured out, as we hear from Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
It's uncommon, but when it happens, as it does in the quantum realm, scientists have previously been left shrugging their shoulders. Now, when material that had been capable of conducting electricity loses that property, becoming an insulator, they're nodding their heads in recognition instead. As explained in a recent paper published in the Physical Reviews Letters, an international team of researchers working at the DESI Institute in Germany made their discovery while working with a compound of rare earth metals, tellurium, selenium, and thulium. They found that the compound lost its inherent conductivity because of what researchers described as a particle dance involving a group of particles called polarons, quasi-particles which can combine and behave as one particle instead of several. The polarons can spur activity between electrons and the nearby atoms, impeding the flow of electricity by slowing it down and eventually halting it altogether. The researchers wrote that their findings show that the properties of material cannot be explained by its chemical composition alone. The scientists concluded that their findings about polarons may ultimately lead to development of new types of matter or the ability to alter some materials' optical, magnetic, or electrical properties. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
There's a new microwave band linear transponder in the sky, and it was put there by university students, as we hear from CellMB KB3TZD.
A student-built CubeSat from the University of Arizona is providing the latest microwave band linear transponder for use by amateur radio operators. After entering orbit more than a year ago, the spacecraft known as CatSat began the earliest parts of its mission, taking images of the Earth, monitoring the ionosphere via HF radio measurements, and demonstrating inflatable antenna technology. CatSat completes a full circle of the Earth every 90 minutes in a polar orbit that is nearly sun-synchronous. The linear transponder was commissioned successfully during the past few weeks. It listens on an uplink of 5.663 gigahertz and transmits on a downlink of 10.47 gigahertz with an estimated bandwidth of 200 kilohertz. For more details, or to follow its operation, Visit the CATSAT mission website at catsat, that's catsat.arizona.edu. This is Sal Emby, KB3, 2ZD.
In the world of DX, members of the Wingles Radio Club F4KLR are marking the 60th anniversary of the first French satellite known as Asterix, which was launched on the 26th of November, 1965. The operators will be using the call sign TM60ATX on Fridays and Saturdays between the 14th of November and the 13th of December, and again on the 19th through to the 23rd of December. Listen for Red, DL1BUG, operating as TY5FR from Cotonou, Benin, from the 15th of November through to the 11th of December. Red will be using CW and sideband on 80 through 10 meters and will participate in the CQ Worldwide DX CW contest. For all contacts listed in World of DX, please see QRZ.com for QSL details, frequencies, or other operating information. Finally, we introduce not the king of the hill, but one of the queens of the mountains. There may not be a crown on her head, at least not yet, but this South African amateur is getting a royal treatment from the international community of YL soda activators. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, tells us why.
The event known as Queens of the Mountains ascended to the summits again this past June for its second year, and YL soda activators around the world did their best during 2 days of activating. The highest achievement this year belongs to Adele Tyler, Zulu Sierra 5 Alpha Papa Tango, who has been chosen to receive the K1 LIZ Memorial Achievement Award for having achieved most of the goals set. Announcing Adele's achievement on the soda reflector, Paula K9IR and Amy AG7GP said that she activated 2 summits jointly with other YLs, logged a minimum of 2 QSOs with YL stations, and completed at least 5 QSOs with YL chasers. They said, however, her most prominent accomplishment was the recruitment of 6 YL operators from South Africa, as well as 22 YL and OM chasers from South Africa and Namibia to participate. The K1 LIZ award carries the call sign, the name and the memory of Liz Burns, a top-achieving SOTA activator who became a silent key in February of 2022. Liz became a symbol of determination and devoted to SOTA because she did not let her blindness deter her from tackling the challenge of activating. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
If you haven't sent in your ham radio haiku yet, what's been stopping you? Visit our website at arnewsline.org, and as you compose your ode to your favorite online activity, we will help you use the correct number of syllables to make an authentic haiku. Submit your work, and then sit back and wait to hear whether you are the winner of this week's challenge. The winner gets a shout-out on our website, where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to ABC News, Amateur News Daily, AMSAT News Service, BBC, David Behar, 425DX Bulletin, FDL Reporter, Fond du Lac Amateur Radio Club, Institute of Amateur Radio in Kerala, Intrepid DX Group, QRZ.com, Radio Society of Sri Lanka, shortwaveradio.de, Soda Reflector, Wireless Institute of Australia, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT, at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, W8VPV in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its material even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights are reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 9 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening, calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday Night VHF UHF Net. My name is Thomas, and my call sign is KE8OWX. However, for the purpose of this net, I'll be using the club call, Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
W8VPV. Repeater PL110.9.
This is an open and directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and at times of social isolation, to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m., preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that's complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, looking for 5 at a time, giving me a chance to confirm each call before moving on to the next. Then we'll work through that list of 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until we're done. If you are a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign, but if not, please give your call, repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, we'll close the net after repeating announcements. We also operate an HF plus 6 meter band exploration net starting at 9:30 p.m. after this net. The approximate frequencies are posted on our website, but tonight we'll be on 40 meters at approximately 7 Mark 187 megahertz. We'll announce the exact frequency on this repeater much closer to 9:30. Please join us if you have the privileges and the equipment. Tonight, I believe the only announcement I have is that the Christmas party is coming up. The information is on the website as well as a link for RSVP so we know how many people are coming. So if you want to come and join us, please fill that out so we can anticipate your arrival. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for check-ins from officers or hams with traffic for general information for the net. Please call now.
W8VPV.
Go ahead, Frank.
Evening, Thomas. Everybody out there. We are having a little bit of an issue with the repeater in that does not seem to automatically be going into net mode. Bruce had to convince it to do that tonight. We are going to set up the backup repeater up in the clubhouse in the next couple of days. Next Wednesday, not 2 days from now, but 9 days from now, we will do a repeater activity of some kind. We're going to learn how to program it, make sure we know how to program it, and I'm going to start tearing apart the current code with some changes in mind. So if anybody's interested in that, that's what we'll be doing on the 4th Wednesday of the month, exploring our repeater controller. Other than that, I don't have any announcements. I look forward to seeing everybody at the Christmas party. Again, Ray Witt, let me break for time here. Ray Witt, W8BZZ will be doing a presentation on beekeeping, bees and beekeeping. I think it'll be an interesting presentation. I hope all of our members can be there. And with that, I'll hand it back to you, Thomas. W8EZT, back to net.
Thank you, Frank. We'll add that to our list of announcements. Are there any other announcements for the net? Please call now.
Alpha Charlie, 8 X-ray Oscar.
Go ahead, Vince.
Newsletter nonsense. Anybody wants to put in an article for the newsletter, not a problem. Get it in before the end of the month. The newsletter will be published
after the Christmas party, not before. Generally, I publish the newsletter the weekend before the meeting, but since the Christmas party was pushed up by a week, it will be published after the Christmas party. That was actually in last month's newsletter. So, with that, I have nothing else, Thomas. Thank you, and APA looks at that tonight.
Sounds good, Vince. I'll add the updated timeline there to our announcements list. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Last call for any announcements for the club. Please call now. Hearing none, we'll move on to regular check-ins. We're looking for 5, giving me a chance to confirm each call. Please call now.
K8PU.
Got you, Larry. Next, please.
W03X.
W03X, got you. Next, please.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Papa Bravo, KF8EPB, Brian in Cuyahoga Falls.
I got you, Brian. Looking for 2 more.
November 8th, Romeo Kilo Echo, Larry in North Royalton.
Got you, Larry. 1 more.
W8EZT with a quick announcement.
Go ahead, Frank.
My apologies, I forgot all about this, but it's something we need to get out to everybody. Starting in January, our meeting will be starting at 7 p.m. on the second Wednesday of the month, not 7:30. The club voted to do that a couple of days ago, a week or so ago. So starting in January, the Monday meetings and, of course, the Zoom session will be starting at about 7 p.m. rather than 7:30. Thanks, Thomas. Doing a great job. Back to you, W8EZT.
That's a good one to toss in there, Frank. All right, we'll go to the top of the list we got. K8PU, Larry, you're up.
Hey, Thomas, everybody on the net. This fine fall afternoon. Yeah, it's good to hear it. Just thinking about the clubhouse, that's been a great addition for the club, of course, but yeah, a good advantage. It's like roughly a mile from the computer site, or the repeater site, and you can take that out of there, run it over there, work on it year-round, and convenient for everybody involved, radio officers, Frank, everybody. That's really a great addition. Really nice. Glad we got it. Big improvement. Wish we could have had it years ago. Okay, nothing more I can add to all of this except thanks for doing the net. And if my antenna's happy with me tonight, I'll catch you on 40, 9:30. Back to you, Thomas. W8VPV, K8PU.
Thanks, Larry. We're glad you stopped by. Next up is W03X.
Good evening, Thomas, and all on the net. This is W03X, John here in Cuyahoga Falls. Over the weekend I participated for a while, not the whole time, and not to the 24-hour limit in the ARRL sweepstakes contest, the SSB version. And so I wanted to make a little over 100 contacts, because I thought I read that there's some kind of award or something for making 100 contacts. So I made 149 contacts, and it was in 63 of the sections, of the 85 sections. So I was nowhere near a clean sweep, but and then I was able to submit the log about an hour after the event ended, which it ended at 10 p.m. Sunday evening. So, and then, but I didn't see W8VPV on there until this morning. So, but it's on there too. So that's good that somebody got it on there. Let's see. I don't see the RSVP for the holiday party there. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or if it's just not on there yet. So with that, this is W03X back to the net.
Repeater, timeout. U, time, repeater, out.
Let's see if I got it. All right, John. You had let off just as a time down. So we got your full transmission there. Thanks for stopping by, and glad you had a good time with the contest this weekend. Up next is KF8EPB. Brian, you're up.
Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, this is KF8EPB. Good evening to everyone on the net. I hope everyone's doing good. As far as radio goes, I was a little disappointed. I get everything set up, my computer, receiver, and software to download some SSTV images from the ISS, and turns out that the transmitter's on the Russian module, and they had technical difficulties, so they're not transmitting. Well, maybe next time. Also, in case anyone's interested, tonight's the peak of the Leonid meteor shower. Just before dawn, they're expecting 10 to 15 meteors per hour. That's about all I got for the night. Hope everyone is doing well. This is KF8EPB. I hope to see you all on 40 meters, and back to the net.
Thanks for stopping by, Brian. And yeah, that would be frustrating after you got everything set up there. But hopefully you get into the pass here and they get things fixed. N8RKE, Larry, you're up.
Good evening from North Royalton. Just paying attention to what's going on with the net here, and I'd like to check in. You guys are coming in pretty strong here, so it's a good net to listen to. That's about all I got. There's nothing going on. Everyone have a good evening. N8RKE back to net.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by, and don't hesitate to stop by any other Monday that you'd like, or any non-net time as well. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for 5 additional check-ins. Please call now.
Hello, Bravo 8 Victor Hotel Kilo. John and Kenmore, in and out.
I got Victor Hotel Kilo, in and out. There was somebody else under you, I believe, if that station could re-identify. Maybe not. We're looking for 4 more. Please call now.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, KEAULC, Curtin-Cuyahoga Falls.
All right, got you, Kurt. Next, please.
HMS.
K8 HMS, I got you. You're pretty scratchy. So how about let's give it to you before things drop out there in the valley.
K8 HMS. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. I couldn't get through on the 440 side. So, thought I'd try 2-meter side, and I guess we're in. So, if it's scratchy, I won't keep it. Just thanks for running on that. Say hi to everybody, and look for you maybe on 40 or next week. K8 HMS.
right, thanks for stopping by. That transmission wasn't so bad, but it was a little scratchy. Let's see, can we get two more, please? Call now.
KAHE-KG, John and Akron.
Got you, John. Is there another one out there?
88 KVI, in and out, because I lead a boring life.
All right, I got you in and out there. Thanks for stopping by. We'll go back up to the top of the list. KE8ULC, Kurt, you're up.
So I was at our last meeting at the clubhouse where we had Ken Dorsey talking about pre-VDD. I don't quite have it going correctly yet, so I'm going to keep knocking away at that. And then Sunday afternoon, we had a VE session. We had 9 signed up, one had taken it early. Only 6 showed up, 5 were techs, and 1 was general, and they all passed. You know, somewhere along the way we ought to talk about the club together to see maybe that if somebody passes that exam, taking it with us, that we maybe give them a year membership just to get them involved with the club. So this is back to you at W8VPV. This was Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie.
Thanks, Kurt. Yeah, that's something we could probably bring up at the next officers and trustees meeting. So I'll take a note and see if I remember the note, and we'll bring it up. That brings us down to John, KA8GK or GKAG. You're up.
Yeah, good evening. Just wanted to stop in and say hello. I missed the net last week. And I'll be looking for, if you're going to be doing 40, I'll look for you up on 40 after a while. But made up some RF cables this afternoon. That was my big project for the day. I recently picked up an SB200, and I'm getting ready to put it on the air. I have never had an amplifier, so this will be a new experience. I'm looking forward to getting that vintage old Heathkit tube amplifier on the air and transmitting. So now I have my cables all made up. I just need one little piece there to do the keying with a low voltage. I can't use high voltage for the transmitter keying. So that'll be the next thing, and it will go from there. Happy Thanksgiving to all if I don't talk to anyone between now and then, and 73 all around. Back to you, Thomas. KAHE-KG.
Well, thanks for stopping by, and maybe we'll catch you there on 40 at 9:30. That brings us to the bottom of the list here. We're looking for any additional check-ins. Please call now. I believe that was a November 8th station, but that's all I got out of that transmission. If you could try up in the power or step into the side and see if you can get in any better. I got a Kilo Echo 8 November, and that's all I got out of that. You're still pretty scratchy. Let's see if I can grab you again in a couple of minutes when we come back. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, looking for additional check-ins. Please call now.
November 8, Romeo Kilo Echo, recheck.
I got N8RKE for a recheck, and then there was somebody underneath. If the person underneath could re-identify, please.
Kilo Echo 8. Tango, Quebec, Romeo, KE8TQR, Keith in Uniontown.
All right, Keith, got you. RKE, go ahead with your recheck.
It was interesting to hear that one of you guys is trying to hook up a vintage amp to a modern radio. And just for a little reference, I just did that. My main HF radio currently is a Yaesu 710, which is, of course, is only a year old or 2 years old now. And I was able to successfully connect it to a Collins 30L1 amplifier that is about a 1961 birth date. So what I did was I got a relay along with the cabling from DX Engineering. It's a little pricey, but it's a turnkey operation, and what it does is it isolates the keying circuit from the amplifier from the radio so that those voltages aren't introduced to the radio. So, because that Collins runs a 170 volt circuit, 100 volt DC on the keying circuit, and that would surely blow out the Yaesu 710. But I've been running it now for about a month, and it runs flawlessly. And you might consider looking at that, and might help you out. And would be, I know that you've already started to make cables and everything, but you can get everything you need from DX. Just thought I'd throw that in. Ed 8 RKE, back to that.
Thanks for all that information. I'm sure that'll help out the other gentleman that was working on interfacing those items. Let's go back up to the station. I believe it was a KE8N station that I had a hard time pulling in. If you can give it another shot, then go ahead. Still not coming in very well, but we do appreciate your attempt there, and we got you here on the log, so we got you checked in there. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll go down, jump down to Keith, KE8TQR. You're up.
W8VPV, this is KE8TQR. Good evening, Thomas. Thanks for checking me into the net tonight, and good evening to everyone else here as well. I don't have a lot of traffic for the net this evening. I just wanted to jump in here and give you one for the numbers. Tell everyone that I hope you all have a great evening, a great rest of the week. I think we got some frosty and snowy weather coming, so be safe out there on them roads and try to stay warm. So with that, I'll turn it back over to net. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless.
Yep. Thanks for stopping by, Keith. And boy, Saturday was lovely. Sunday it was getting cold. I got a text from my dad this morning. He's over east of Warren, and they just got absolutely dumped on, another 8 inches last night. So, and it was continuing through this afternoon. I'm not looking forward to that mess when that decides to arrive here. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for any additional check-ins. Please call now.
Recheck.
Go ahead with the recheck.
Yes, Thomas, KAAGKG. This station you couldn't copy. I could hear him on the input, and his call is KD8NEO and Kilo Delta 8 November Echo Oscar, and his name is Daryl, and I didn't catch his location, but anyway, he was checking in. If you want to add him to your log. That's his call sign and name. Back to net control. KAHKG.
VPV. Repeater.
I very much appreciate you filling that one in. I had a K, an H, and an N. I wouldn't have guessed that one, but we've got that corrected here in the log. I appreciate that. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for any additional check-ins. Please call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Bill
KF8 DGD. I got you. Next, please.
Recheck Thomas W8ECT.
Go ahead, Frank.
We do not currently have a sign up for the Christmas dinner on our website. I will reach out to Anthony and we will have that up there within 24 hours. You'll be ordering off the menu. This just gives us enough an idea of how many people to plan for so we can let them know to make sure they have enough staff on hand. So that will be up there within the next 24 hours. Thanks, Thomas. Back to net W8ECT.
Thanks, Frank. Yeah, I do see that now that it's just to save the date. But don't forget, that is December 3rd, and that's come up a little quicker than I'd like. Anyways, let's go with, we got KF8 DGD. How about let's take you now? We certainly appreciate you stopping by. Good to hear from you. Back at the bottom of the list here, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Looking for any additional check-ins. Please call now. All right. Well, let's go through the announcements real quick. The first one is December 3rd is a Christmas party. There will be a sign-up in the next day for that, just to make sure that they have enough staff to accommodate our group of rapscallions. Upcoming, we also have on the fourth Wednesday at the clubhouse a small programming program on the backup repeater controller. See if we can make some adjustments and probably get those swapped out soon. We've also changed our Wednesday meetings, the official meeting at the church there on the second Wednesdays. That's now 7 p.m., not 7:30 anymore. Then we can maybe get out of there a few minutes earlier. I think we also have articles are due soon, if you would like, but it will be published after the Christmas party, not before, so keep that in mind. Other than that, I think that's all I have for announcements, so we'll do last call for check-ins. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, looking for any additional check-ins. Please call now. last call for check-ins. If you'd like to join us and get your name on the list, last call for check-ins. Please call now. Well, that wasn't a terrible list. Pretty good for a pretty cold morning, or beginning of the winters here. Anyways, we'll prepare to close the net, and thank everybody that took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, we wouldn't have a net to run. This has been KE8OWX. It's been my pleasure to host this evening's net, and at this time, we'll close the net with 15 check-ins and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:01 p.m. local time, and we'll monitor 40 meters and announce closer to 9:30. 73, everybody.
Where do you plan on announcing the exact location of the net, N8RKE?
I'll announce it here on the VHF repeater. Hopefully it'll go out on the UHF before it unlinks, but definitely here on the VHF repeater.
Thank you.
KE8OWX, clear.
KE8OWX, KHMS. You still there, Thomas?
Yep, I'm still here.
Hey, yeah, just a quick question. I just looking on QRZ here. You're on Steele's Corners Road. Where are you on there? I up and down that road 10 times a day.
I'm pretty close to due north of Frank. I'm on the corner of Board and Steele's.
Oh, okay, corner of what?
Board Drive and Steele's Corners.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'll be darned. I'll have to look for antennas or something high, but, okay. Yeah, thanks. Just curious, because like I say, I live down here in the valley, so I'm up and down steals corners a lot. So, okay, thank you, and thanks for doing the next KHMS.
No problem. Hopefully we'll catch you on 40. KE8 to OWX.